who I feel like it's not a Super Bowl. It's not Super Bowl week if Charlie Batch is not in front of us here. My brother, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
And you look great, man. You look healthy, man. You look revitalized. What in the world is going on? What are you doing that I need to start doing?
Well, I make sure I shed this weight, and my knees are pretty bad, so I got to make sure I kind of try to maintain that. But outside of that, man, we deal with a bunch of kids, and I'm trying to keep up with those guys, and I'm just trying to do my small part.
You always have a message every Super Bowl week, and one thing about Media Row is that a lot of guys who have played in this game get a chance to come out and represent causes and different interests. This week for you, what is your number one objective?
For me is continue to talk about our foundation. And my foundation is called Best of the Batch Foundation. We're an educational foundation throughout the Pittsburgh area, and we serve 3,800 kids annually. So we are now going into our 20th year. So we're excited about that. We're getting ready to expand. We're adding 21,000 square feet to our existing building. So that'll push our numbers over 4,000 throughout the course of the year because we'll be able to take on more elementary kids. So it's just exciting for us to be able to do it. A lot of people don't know I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I just had the pleasure of playing for the Steelers for 11 seasons, and of course continuing to stay home throughout that process. So just truly a blessing for us to continue to go out there and change and try to help and create changes in people's lives.
These kids are in school, out of school, school ages. Give our listeners an idea if they want to chip in and help this now. Are these at-risk teens or kids who would normally be in school themselves?
Yeah, these are at-risk kids.
Okay.
So what we do is work from elementary all the way up through first-year college students.
Okay, all right.
And then what we do is have an alternative school program in our building, so they actually are using our computer labs. These are kids who are kicked out of school for whatever reason, and we help transition them back into main school, whether that's middle school, or on high school campuses, to get them back. So the goal of their school is to have none, because that means those kids are kicked out of school. But unfortunately, that happens, and we just help create plans for them to transition them back into school. So for us to do this, truly a blessing. We have over 500 volunteers that help make us happen throughout the area, and it's just, we're truly humbled when you have people who actually volunteer their time and support the Best of the Batch Foundation.
The Batch Foundation, as we're discussing here on the Team 980, Doc Walker, and the Oster himself is behind the brick wall at our 980 studios at Radio 1. The opioids and all that we hear about this, how is that drug situation filtered down, and how are you combating that, which seems to be an issue worldwide?
Yeah, I think when you look at that, at least me personally, when I look, I'm not a big pill taker. I had 6 surgeries. Right. I quickly got off Vicodins and Percocets and all of those type of things because I wanted to feel what my body was going through.
Right.
And, of course, now, you start to see about some of those things in the way that I was taking the Aleve and the Advils and the Tylenol, like, I'm taking too many.
Script and AD, man.
I may not have a liver in 10 years, so I started to explore what those other alternative methods are. So when I look at the CBD and those type of things, I'm like, I need to start looking at it, and I like the way that my body accepts and responds back to that. So it's just something that really I'm looking and exploring into that spot. And I have my medical card, so it's not like things that we're talking about is illegal. So I'm looking at those alternative methods because I know how my body was preparing. But when I talk to other people about that, yeah, your body is your body. But at the same time, let's explore. All I can tell you is what works for me, and I know how it impacts people down the line. So I'm just trying to go out here and continue to educate.
Charlie, when you look at right now what's going on with a lot of our offensive and defensive linemen, the big boys who are injured and look for some relief, I really believe that we're right on the cusp right now of the legalization of medical marijuana to help. I think the big pharma has been against this because they're making money.
Right.
But the more athletes I talk to now, and I think it's a hell of an injustice personally for guys to be suspended for something that helps them get back quicker and that is easier on their body and doesn't get them addicted. Now, what am I missing?
Well, I think number one is just because of it's in the collective bargaining agreement until 2021. So the players have to accept that right now. But if they want that change, then they have to voice that, and hopefully in the new CBA moving forward that they're allowed to do some of those things. So there's a big difference between active and former. And, of course, if you're an active player in a state that is legalized, you still cannot do it based off the terms of the CBA.
Right.
So you have to continue to talk about it. But at the same time, there is that cultural shift. People are now looking at this differently than what it was before. I'm looking at it differently. And the one thing for me, especially when I go to bed, I used to take Ambiens like it was Kool-Aid, but it's not good. I'm now looking at those methods to where, okay, now I have a gummy. Maybe there's something that I can turn around and still get some of those same things naturally.
Right.
That instead of taking a pill. So all of those things are at the table, and it's just not, the thing that, back in the day where you grow it in your yard, you smoke it. No, that's not what we're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about scientific things that actually can help your body. So I think people just need to explore it.
Talk about the quarterbacks, and let's get on to the game for a moment. Got to ask you about the the quarterbacks and what you see. Of course, the GOAT.
Right.
Are you amazed at what Tom continues to do?
Absolutely. I think when I look at it now, 18 years, and none of those years he played in the game that mattered at the end. It's truly remarkable. That means his last game meant something that you're going to win a championship, and not to mention the other AFC championship games that he lost. So It's truly remarkable, and especially in Pittsburgh, people are like, I can't believe you root for the Patriots. So, I'm not rooting for them specifically. I'm rooting for Tom to do something that will never be done again in our lifetime.
And look at golf.
We will never see another quarterback go to 9 Super Bowls in his career.
I'm not going to say that.
I can't.
I'm
Because
not going to
here's
say
why
that.
I say that. Here's why I say that.
Okay.
The next quarterback in line to go to their 4th Super Bowl is Ben Roethlisberger, and he's going into his 16th season. I don't think he's going to play another 8 years. So, the next quarterback after that, Eli Manning, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, as young as he is, he will be entering into his 3rd trying to get his 2nd Super Bowl. He would have to go on one heck of a stretch over the next 8 years to get to the point of going to 9 Super Bowls. Think about Patrick Mahomes, how great he's been.
I was just about to say that.
How great that he's been.
Right.
He's in his 2nd year. He hasn't been to the Super Bowl. That means he would have to go on a stretch of 9 years out of the next 15 to get to the Super Bowl. Can you see that happening? I don't know.
No,
that means he would have to get to. He would have to go through Ben Roethlisberger for the next 4 years.
Right.
He'll have to go through Brady maybe for the next 3.
Right.
He'll have to go through Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson in Houston, just in the AFC. It's tough to get there.
And we're not slighting golf. Let's not slide it. He's in it. Yeah.
But I'm just saying in AFC just to get to the Super Bowl.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying when I'm saying getting to the point of going to 9 Super Bowls. Now, if Patrick Mahomes went out and won 5 out of 6, then, he'll probably change the conversation.
Right.
But I'm just talking about 9
I'm
Super Bowls. That's the only reason why I say we will never see this again in our lifetime, that a quarterback will go to 9 Super Bowls.
Okay, in our market, I have a lot.
No. Here's another. Let me give you one other stat.
Okay.
In the last 50 years, there's only been 4 players that went to 9 championships. Kareem, Magic, LeBron, now Brady. That's in the last 50 years that have been to 9 championship games.
Checkmate.
That's 50 years. That's why I say I just
no, you're right.
We'll see
no, we won't. But how about this? Because a lot of folks in our listening area, and of course we're worldwide with the 980 app, still a nation. Mm-hmm. What is going on?
I think a lot of people are trying to figure that out. So I think when you look back to where the Steelers were at 2 years ago, AFC Championship game, they lost the divisional round in Jacksonville. Last year they did not even make the playoffs. So this team is regressing.
Okay.
So when you look at where your stars are at, and you say, okay, Ben's going to be there. Le'Veon Bell, we're still unsure because the Steelers still have a right to transition him if they want to. Antonio Brown is trying to force his way out. So when you look at just that trio, they haven't been to a Super Bowl. So when you look at just the shift that's going on, you have Juju Smith-Schuster now, Pro Bowl player. James Conner as the running back, Pro Bowl player. Do they have those pieces in place to move on? Possibly. But if Antonio Brown wants to be in Pittsburgh, all he has to do is communicate. If he communicates that with the owner, he's in Pittsburgh, no questions asked.
Charlie Batch.
So we'll see
Simply one of the best. Give the foundation number out so people can catch you now.
Yes.
How do they get you?
Anybody who wants to follow what I do throughout the year, they can go to charliebatch.com, and you'll be able to see everything that we're talking about.
Good deal. My man. Nothing but love for you, man. All right, Charlie Batch.